In today's video, we will be honoring the world's most expensive stadiums that got all kinds of fans to fall head over heels. From sports to concerts, these stadiums have held the most significant revenues and crowds in history. But of course, the construction wasn't cheap. So here are the top 10 most expensive stadiums in the world. First on the list is the SoFi Stadium in Englewood, California, which is the most costly stadium ever built, costing $5.5 billion. This enormous stadium, which covers 298 acres, is home to both the Los Angeles Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers. When constructing this magnificent stadium, no money was spared. The Oculus is a one-of-a-kind double-sided 80 million pixel television screen suspended from the ceiling and hanging above the field at SoFi Stadium. SoFi, a personal finance company, paid $30 million for the naming rights to the stadium, which will host the Super Bowl 56 and the Summer Olympics in 2028. Second, Raider Nation has a fresh new stadium, the Allegiant Stadium in Paradise, Nevada, which cost a whopping $1.9 billion to build. There are enormous plans for this brand new Las Vegas football stadium. The Las Vegas Raiders and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas Rebels, play at Allegiant Stadium. Near the north end zone inside the stadium is an enormous 85-foot-tall torch honoring late Raiders owner Al Davis. The massive torch is the world's largest 3D printed object. The third is MetLife Stadium, like SoFi Stadium, which is home to two NFL teams. Despite its location in East Rutherford, New Jersey, MetLife Stadium is home to the New York Jets and the New York Giants. Or as I like to refer to them, the New Jersey Jets and the New Jersey Giants. When finished in 2010, it was the most costly sports facility in history, costing $1.7 billion. MetLife Stadium is a significant moneymaker. In 2019, it hosted WrestleMania 35, which took in $16.9 million in revenue. MetLife Stadium is mainly a football stadium, but can also host soccer games. The stadium contains retractable field-level seats, allowing it to be turned into a FIFA-approved soccer pitch. Number 4. The Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home of the Atlanta Falcons and Atlanta United FC soccer team. It costs $1.5 billion to build. One feature distinguishes the Mercedes-Benz Stadium from other NFL stadiums: cheap concession costs. Compared to other stadiums, Mercedes-Benz Stadium features much lower menu prices. Beverage cups are only $2 and include free refills, while beer is only $5. The naming rights for the field were purchased by Mercedes-Benz, and the contract will supposedly last 27 years. The precise value of the arrangement is unknown. However, local sports media have estimated that the contract is worth approximately $324 million. Fifth on our list is the Yankee Stadium, one of the world's most recognizable structures. The baseball stadium is undoubtedly the home of the Yankees. But did you know that the New York City Football Club also plays there? The new Yankee Stadium, which opened in 2009, is the third incarnation of the renowned baseball field. It costs a stunning of $1.3 billion to build and includes a museum with baseball artifacts, which are worth more than $10 million. If you ever plan to visit Yankee Stadium, you should be aware that the seats to a baseball game may be rather pricey. Legend Suite seats range in price from $510 to $2,600. Sixth, the Dallas Cowboys have some of the most ardent fans in the NFL, so it stands to reason that the team plays in one of the league's most impressive stadiums, AT&T Stadium. It was built in nearby Arlington for $1.3 billion. It is the fourth largest in the NFL and is affectionately referred to as Jerry World after business magnate and Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. The building of AT&T Stadium, like many other NFL stadiums, went considerably over budget. It was initially planned to cost $650 million, and taxpayers were forced to foot the bill with a 5% sales tax increase and a 2% hotel occupancy tax. AT&T Stadium has a retractable roof, 3,000 LCD displays around the facility, and one of the world's most giant center-hung display boards. AT&T pays between $17 million and $19 million per year for the naming rights. The stadium was actually known initially as the Cowboy Stadium. 7th, we have Levi Stadium. It's known predominantly as a football facility, but it's also hosted soccer games, concerts, wrestling events, and even a hockey game. The $1.3 billion stadium is located in Santa Clara, California in the San Francisco Bay Area. It can seat 68,500 persons for significant events, such as the Super Bowl and FIFA World Cup. In 2013, Levi Strauss & Company paid $220.3 million for the naming rights to the stadium. The agreement with the city of Santa Clara is for 20 years, but Levi has the option to extend the deal for an additional 5 years for a fee of $75 million. It may be difficult to imagine that an outdoor hockey game was played at the Levi Stadium, but sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. In 2015, the San Jose Sharks hosted the Los Angeles Kings as part of the NHL Stadium Series. The Kings defeated the Sharks 2-1 in front of a crowd of 70,205 hockey fans. Levi Stadium established an attendance record in 2015 with 76,976 spectators for WrestleMania 31. The event generated $12.6 million in revenue. Number 8. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which is the home of the Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. It has a capacity of 62,303 people. Because soccer is the most popular sport globally, you probably expect to see at least one soccer stadium on this list. The stadium is notable for being the first to incorporate a retractable soccer pitch. A synthetic turf field is used beneath the soccer pitch for NFL games, concerts, and other athletic events. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is merely a placeholder. Bidding for the stadium's naming rights is now underway. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium has many amenities for players and supporters, including various restaurants and pubs. At 9th, we have the Wembley Stadium, which costs $1.25 billion to build and is the largest stadium in the United Kingdom and the second largest in Europe. The 90,000-seat Wembley Stadium in London is the home ground of the England national soccer team and the site of the FIFA Cup final. Wembley has hosted numerous concerts. Adele broke the stadium attendance record in 2017 when 98,000 people crowded into the stadium to see her play. Madonna's concert at Wembley in 2008 also set a record for a single day's gross revenue at the stadium, bringing in $12 million. Here's an interesting fact. Wembley Stadium has 2,618 restrooms, more than any other arena in the world. Lastly, the Minnesota Vikings play their home games at the $1.1 billion US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The state of Minnesota and the city of Minneapolis paid for the state-of-the-art facility. The Minnesota Vikings organization and private contributors contributed $150 million, while the state itself contributed $348 million. The Vikings organization and private individuals contributed $551 million. Over the years, the stadium's unique reflective glass walls have produced some issues. Birds continue to fly into the stadium walls and die. Replacing the old glass with bird-safe glass will cost around $10 million. If the non-reflective glass was chosen during the first construction, it would have only added $1 million to the original budget. Taylor Swift pulled in a whopping $10,242,024 when she performed at the US Bank Stadium in 2018 as part of her Reputation Stadium tour. Before we end today's video, let me share an interesting fact about one of the stadiums we featured today. Did you know that the original Yankee Stadium only cost $2.4 million to build when adjusted for inflation? That equates to around $345 million now. The first Yankee Stadium made its debut in 1923 and was affectionately termed the house that Ruth built. Babe Ruth may have popularized the stadium, but Yankees owner Jacob Ruppert paid for it. He covered the entire construction cost. And that ends our video for today. Thank you for watching, and we are hoping you were able to enjoy today's content. Please leave a comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the following video.